Hello, more Starvaders. Let's get right back into it. We're currently on a streak of 4 after the win off of Max yesterday. I experimented with some relatively new stuff to me of using parry effectively, seeing how Deflector applies. That, as it turns out, Deflector and parry was not the best combo on the world. But Max was so strong that we did manage to still just take the dub. Something that was particularly impressive was transmogrifying the runners, because the only... Oh, hold on. Ah, I see. On Stingers, actually, the only possible upgrade for them is Jab. You can see on Gunners, the only possible upgrade was Fire, and then for Keepers, there are these two possible upgrades. So for Max, when I transmogrified it, I was guaranteed to get 2 copies of those Jab Runners. It puts me anywhere and it attacks. It's a fantastic card. Assassin did its fair bit of contributions by drawing me a lot of cards throughout every single one of the turns. Max, at least with this setup, the 2 runners, the tempo, and the dodge was very mobile, so I was able to get into position consistently. With that out of the way, let's see what this new day brings us. Oh, we're not playing you again, not for 3 days. Alright, we're back to the OG. We're playing Roxy. Roxy is just good fun. I think strength-wise, she's a little bit below mid-tier. She used to start with 4 regular fires and 5 moves, and then the 1 Nova Bomb. During one of the updates before 2.0, she was buffed, and given these 2 triple fires, which is very big, it lets her handle the early game a lot better. And I don't feel awesome having to play her, but I still do think there are a lot of lines for her to get there. And we're going to see if we can pull out a win on Impossible today and keep our streak going. Let's see what we can do. Alright, to start us out here, I don't hate a backtrack, it's very good. I also don't hate an afterburn. But Throw Bomb also has its appeal here. Throw Bomb can be... Eraser also can be very good. There's actually a bunch of very interesting choices here. Into the Fray, obviously, also fine. Throw Bomb gets us further into bomb synergies if we pick up something like, say, a Shrapnel, Red Giant, although maybe we don't want this with Red Giant. But, like, Balloon, Sonic Boom, a lot of Gunner artifacts love you having bombs, and like putting a second one into the deck in addition to Nova Bomb this early can really let us hedge our bets. Something else that's important here is that Throw Bomb has the frozen component, which unburns it and freezes it whenever it is drawn. This lets us very safely burn it by exceeding the heat gauge. It basically, in a sense, makes it free, and also it lets us freely trigger Roxy's starter artifact, which is Firestarter. The first time we overheat, which is when we play over our mana capacity, we draw two extra cards and get 2 extra heat sink the next turn. Backtrack, Afterburn, these... Eraser... Eraser is also a very good card. It gives us a lot of reach and also lets us like remove bad cards from our deck. There's a lot to love here. I think if this was a different, very good card, I might pick Throne Bomb over it, but the fact that these are 0 costs, and I have this backtrack which like lets me bring back other 0 costs from the draw pile, it's making me reconsider things. I think Eraser might just be too much output for us. That's, I will just take it. Throw Bomb does seem appealing though. I want to actually experiment with this more. I have, I think, a lot more experience with Eraser in other contexts. I want to give this card a shot, especially now that it's upgraded, to see how well it will perform. Let's run with this and just see where we're going to take this. I am not a huge fan of either of these initial tiles. Something that I'm looking for is either artifacts, rare cards, or timing, following angels early to farm some money or get some high priority rewards here. None of that is here. I think I'm going to commit one of my rerolls and no more to this first fight. Okay, that's a rare card, but these are some very brutal modifiers. Aegis Invaders coupled with Cloudy can put an insane amount of pressure on you to deal a lot of damage. But I do kind of want an early direction of sorts. Rare card has the potential to provide that. I think I'm going to take this risk and see if we can pull it off. What are we fighting? We are fighting Swarmers, Rocketeers, and... Swarmers, Shooters, and Migos. What does that mean for us? I think we're going to start by shooting this guy, hitting this here, and then we are going to actually... So, for viewers who have not played the game that much, or I guess played the game at all, the Roxy being a gunner might mean that she looks a little different than the other two. I will explain. Just like the other pilots, just like the other mechs, we also get a mana system. We start with 3 mana, quote unquote, a turn. But the gunners have this different system called the heat sink. You see, I have 3 quote unquote heat sink at the start here. Every time I move, I play a card, the heat cost is added to the heat sink. Whenever I play a card that would exceed it, I am still allowed to play it, but that would cause it to overheat and burn the card. When a card is burnt, when we overheat, the card is burnt, of course, but also it immediately ends our turn. The burnt card, the next time we draw it, cannot be played. So we're kind of paying a cost for exceeding our heat gauge. One of the reasons that I picked up Throw Bomb here is that it has this modifier called Frosty. Whenever I draw it, it becomes unburnt and freezes itself, so I can freely burn it and not suffer any of the consequences. Roxy, the first pilot you play, actually tries really hard to teach you to use this overburn mechanic to your advantage with her starter artifact, Firestarter. The first time you overheat in a fight, she rewards you by giving you 2 extra heat sink next turn and drawing you 2 extra cards. It is a very powerful artifact, and we're going to try our best to use it here. So, normally I could just throw the bomb here and end my turn, but I actually want to cash in on the Firestarter bonus early and try my best to whittle the enemies down and take the pressure down a notch. This is a lot of pressure. These Migos are going to start heading in. Aegis Invader is also not looking very friendly. We have this column here with a lot of clouds. I don't think these are the worst clouds ever, although all of them are in the Doom slot, are in the Doom zone. I think if we manage the pressure well early, we have the potential to finish this fight without too much issue. So what I'm going to do instead of just throwing bomb and ending turn here is I'm going to move, deliberately fill up my heat gauge, and then I'm going to throw bomb. This will burn this card, activate Firestarters, end my turn, but the throw bomb will not be burnt the next time it comes back to our hand because it has the Frosty modifier. So this grouping of enemies is going to be a bit of a concern going forward. Oh, jeez, that's a lot of enemies. What am I going to do about that? Let's think. I could throw a bomb here. This will mean the shooter plus will kill this Migo. I think I actually want to focus down this side of the board because them making it here would be disastrous. So I think I'm going to start here. Move. Move. I'm kind of curious if me shooting here gets rid of this cloud. That would be very good. It does get rid of it. That's fantastic. Yeah, and then me doing the second strike will kill this shooter plus. Yeah, we're clearing up a lot of the clouds here that would otherwise be troublesome. Although the pressure definitely is starting to pile up, which not the biggest fan of. Something I could actually do is to put a bomb here to funnel all the enemies into this column of 3, which might be helpful. Although, there's also another argument here to just doing this. Yeah, this prevents this shooter from moving down. I can use this to kill these 3 enemies here, and then I'll kill that one other enemy. I think, yeah, this will mean the shielded Migo will come all the way down to here this turn, because it's going to slip and slip again. We will have to deal with it, but that's the only thing we're going to have to deal with next turn. If luck will have it, we should be able to handle this fairly gracefully, but they're definitely not making it easy, that's for sure. Another option we have here is to actually just eat this one Doom and focus on dealing with the rest of the pack. I don't actually hate that idea. Because what's it going to look like then? I triple fire, I hit these 3. I think then the next move would be to walk up here and then throw bomb to kill these 2. I don't hate that idea, actually. Let's give that a go. So I do this. Throw bomb, kill these 2. That causes this Swarmer Plus to die. We eat the one Doom, but that's fine. So yeah, then we triple fire here. This will mean this shooter will die from shooting the bomb himself, and then we end by throwing this bomb. That kills these 2 swarmers, and that finishes off the fight. Even though there were no fallen angels, we actually got a decent payout here. It's a shame that the pressure was so high that we couldn't grab the time angel, but that is okay. Okay, here is... Tornado is a pretty mediocre card. I'm not a giant fan of it. It's very expensive. It does do a lot. I'm not gonna hold you. It's a little random, but it has the potential to like cause a lot of disruption. Another good thing about it is that it purges itself, which means as a gunner, I am able to play it as the last card of the deck to last card of the turn to overheat, and I wouldn't suffer any consequences, because even though it gets burnt, it will still get purged, and it will not stay in my deck as a burned card. Clusterfire is a fine card. We already have some bomb synergies set up, so that's not too bad at all. We have the Nova Bomb. We can also throw out bombs with this one. This would give us a reasonable amount of firepower. I was initially thinking about picking up Backfire, which I think is a fairly strong card. It's a little awkward to use it sometimes, but you both get to move, and also it provides you with a lot of firepower with the 3 bullets that you shoot in the direction that you move. It's a little unwieldy, but it's a strong card. I'm honestly thinking that this is a tough call. I think... I gotta be honest, the one thing I remember about Clusterfire when I tried it a way long time ago was that it's always felt more mediocre and clunky than you expected it to be. The question then is just if I want to get Tornado or Backfire. I think I'll actually pick up Tornado just to see how good it feels. I think this card does have a lot of potential. It's just maybe a little bit unreliable, but we can basically play it for no mana cost at all because of the burn trick I talked about earlier. So I'm gonna give it a chance, and we'll see how this goes. Okay. Do wonder if Tornado does have the mirror upgrade, which would let us play it a lot. The rest of these don't matter as much to me. Actually, this would be huge. This would be fine. These two would also be pretty good. And you know what? This level actually has a pretty good modifier for us. Bomb Mania, for the most part, is just helpful because it helps us alleviate pressure, especially against the swarmers. And there also is the potential for us to score some huge cash off of the Time Angels. I don't want to go back to another cloudy level. I really think we got lucky earlier with how the clouds spawned, and we did manage to get through it fairly gracefully. I will be taking this tile and hoping to get some big money. Also, there of course is the tantalizing possibility of us upgrading the Tornado with the level reward, which would be very big. So, I think I'm gonna do the trick I talked about earlier of sequencing in such a way that we are able to overheat with the throw bomb. This clusters everything up very nicely, which I think maybe this is a good time to not even worry about the to not even worry about the heat cost as much and just fire off a Tornado now and then react accordingly for cleaning up. Big, huge money. That is massive. Oh, actually, yeah, this does not finish the fight off because that will mean this will give a shield to that last Following Angel plus. Yeah, we unfortunately couldn't get all the shimmers out of our hand anyways, but that's unfortunate. This will cause him to leave, but that's still a large amount of money. Tornado had a very good showing there, and oh my god. Okay, this, I think, makes Tornado a lot more impactful, because instead of just getting pushed 1 tiles, everything's getting pushed 2 additional tiles, which is almost guaranteed to make them take damage in some way. Even loosely grouped enemies will still have a chance to collide with each other. I think this is a huge upgrade for Tornado, and I'm going to take it. We're walking into the first shop with 40,000 bucks. You very rarely get a chance to do this, and I'm pretty excited. Oh, we have some very, very big players here to start off. The fuel is very strong. Instead of burning any card that we play, whenever we would burn it, if fuel is in our hand, we play it instead, and this not only saves us from burning a card and ending our turn, it also gives our next attack +1 repeat, which is very good. We'll be picking up fuel. Bomber Mech, one of my favorite gunner artifacts. It makes your mech a bomb, and also makes it so that whenever it is struck, it explodes and strikes the adjacent tiles. This doesn't look too impressive at first blush, but it has a lot of implications with all the other gunner artifacts that are able to help you. All the other gunner artifacts that are able to synergize with bombs. The same reason I felt pretty good about picking up Throw Bomb earlier in addition to Nova Bomb. I am going to, I think, pick up Bomber Mech here. This not only is a fine upgrade for now, because your mech will just get struck from time to time, it also gives us a lot of synergy potential going forward. The other potential get here would be Aegis Bomb. Some part of me, though, kind of wants to restock here to see if we can pick up something else that works with this bomb package. Aegis Bomb is a good card, I'm not going to hold you, but I kind of want to look for something a little more exceptional. Anti-Mag, a fine card, although it currently works with Throw Bomb and Tornado, both of which I'm planning to take at the end of my turn to eat the burn. Tag. Although the way this is worded, it implies that the cost reduction is like kept for until that card is drawn again. So even if we don't play that other card right away, I think the discount should persist. Maybe this is actually a pretty good testing opportunity. I will pick up Anti-Mag and see if it works the way I think it does. And we're going to cut one of the shifts from our deck. Alright, no, we are not playing Doom Ritual. Alright, so the mothership is starting off a little feisty here with a large grouping of swarmers. I think I will start with Throw Bomb, walking up, and this cleans up all of the swarmer very nicely. Here's the squad. Something I've learned to respect about the mothership is that these airships are terrifying. If you leave them alone for too long, they'll start walking forward repeatedly, and then also try to they're gonna spread clouds as they walk down, and also just send out an explosion of clouds next to them right when they die. This can put up a lot of extra pressure against you, which is not great. I am contemplating playing a Tornado right now to try to clean up this board. The most terrifying part of Mothership is going to be these initial rounds where like the pressure is really piling up super high. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go here, and then I will Tornado. Okay, that really could have gone a lot better. I'm not gonna hold you. This Migo is now gonna channel... Oh, I thought I had a... Okay. Thank God. This shooter is being very cooperative with us and helping us take down this Migo. And as it turns out, the Mothership core does not like being so far ahead that it's like all the way out here, so it teleported back for us. Pretty glad that's how it worked out, but I wonder why we... I do wonder why we overheated there. I could have sworn I had the fuel in my hand. Or did I play the fuel itself? No, it would have been burnt. I don't exactly understand what happened there. I thought for sure I was going to get another action. Like, fuel even triggered, but... I guess the overheating still happened, but that seems a little weird. whatever the case, I'm gonna run up here. I will be triple firing twice. We're gonna throw a bomb here just to help this echo damage that fella a little bit. And you know what? I'm gonna test the hypothesis I had earlier with anti-mag and whether or not it's gonna help us still have that discount on that fire next turn, next time we see it. Oh. So, I think this is a pretty good chance for us to just take down both of the... Oh. Yeah. I think this is a pretty good chance for us to take down both of the echoes here. Oh, but that does prevent that from happening. That's a bit of a shame. I kind of just forgot that this bomb will still be here. Okay. I was thinking I would have to use a, Actually, we don't even have to eat this doom, I just realized. Although, no, that's not quite possible because... Yeah, I can't reach it in time. I could use a reroll token, but I don't think that's gonna be worth it. I think I'll just eliminate this Migo. You know what? Why not? We'll throw out the... Okay, I see. So with the fuel, you do still overheat. You just don't burn the card, which is very interesting. Yes, this gives me the most combo on the invader there. I think we played this first fight very sloppily, but we did manage to recover, and we're gonna make it alive out of the first world with 12,000 bucks to our name. Okay, Sonic Boom. This is a certified Hood Classic with Bomber Mech. So Sonic Boom just says, your bullets push instead of striking your bombs, and after a bomb is moved, that's any bomb, it detonates and respawns. Guess what? With Bomber Mech, we're a bomb, which means that anytime we move anywhere, we're going to explode and strike all the adjacent tiles. This also allows us to push our bombs a little bit with our bullets, which will also have some nice implications. But the biggest one is going to be the fact that like now we're just a walking explosion machine. Greenhouse has some applications on a different day. Obviously, it works out with our fire starter, which would mean that the first time we trigger, we would have 7 heat sink instead of 5. But we don't have any other ways of using it, so we're not going to take it here. Flash Fire, a fantastic boss artifact with a lot of applications. There are a lot of fire cards. Backfire would have been one of them. That would get a lot of mileage out of having 1 extra repeat for 1 extra heat cost. Some other very notable examples I can think of right now are Hellfire, Fire Everything. Backfire would have also been fine. There's Plasma Fire, but anyways, we don't have any of those, and Sonic Boom is kind of our perfect follow-up to what we have set up so far with Bomber Mech, Throw Bomb, and the Nova Bomb we started with. We're going to pick this up and feel very happy. Okay, what are we going to take here? I feel pretty compelled to just go in for this artifact. Yes, we have one less choice. Yes, we don't know exactly what we're going up against, but I'm not too bothered about any of that. Gunner has a lot of good artifacts, especially now that we have the Bomber Mech. I kind of want to see where this can go. So yeah, that, as you can see, is like the first usage of Bomber Mech for us. We're able to just... We're able to strike all of our adjacent tiles whenever we move. There's something else we're going to do here, so I'm going to throw this Nova Bomb, and we're going to push it with our bullets using Sonic Boom. So instead of exploding here, it's going to move forward, and then explode here, striking this shell. And very importantly, it's also going to stay... It's going to stay here for next turn for us, in order to use against all these viruses that are coming down. Very good. Okay, feeling pretty good about this current turn. Is this a good tornado? Is this a good tornado moment? I do. The one thing I am a little scared about with tornado is for any of the invaders to get pushed all the way down to the bottom, and then I'll have to deal with them right now. But I'm not actually all that concerned because we have this backtrack that costs 0 here. If something bad were to happen, I can always respond with this. So we're going to start with something like this. This should, in theory, kill the majority of the invaders here. Or at least heavily injure them. That is going to put a lot of shimmers in our pile because of all these shelled that have died, but I have a feeling that we're going to be just fine. So we'll go here. That leaves us yet another one of these. Then we'll walk over here and just kill these two. And that is the first fight in the bag. Very good. Decent chunk of change. And we get Fighting Stance or Ultra Cools. I think Fighting Stance, I'm normally a giant fan of this artifact. Getting combo once you have a reasonable deck going is trivial, and just getting paid off for that massively is absolutely huge. But something I'm even bigger fan of is improving our mobility using Ultra Coolant here. It's going to replace our pretty mediocre shifts here with 3 random move cards. Most, if not all of them, are a significant upgrade to shift. A lot of gunner movement cards have these like quirky little downsides, so I look forward to seeing what we're going to do with it. Also, some of them cost 0, which would be a huge boon for backtrack. So, let's see what Ultra Coolant brings us. Ultra Coolant brings us 3 more backtracks. Not exactly what I expected, but we can work with this. I'm not sure what to think of this. I guess the #1 priority now would be to work some more 0-cost cards into the deck. This backtrack is chilled, which means it is a 0-cost card. The other backtracks will be able to grab it. But I will need a different movement card for us to be able to reach the front of the front of the grid. Yeah, the problem with these backtracks is that like they can only let you reach the doom zone, the last 3 rows, which isn't very helpful if you want to move forward, press your advantage, and like get some good angles for triple fire. I think I'm actually going to come up here to pick up a normal card in hopes of picking up a slightly better movement option than what we have right now. Probably one of the worst Ultra Coolants I've had to date, but I still think it wasn't that bad overall. I think I'm actually gonna save the tornado until later in the fight. I think, yeah, once all of these blobs blow up, things are gonna get a lot more hectic. So Oh lord. That is not good. I think here's something we can do. Yeah. Overheat with the help of fuel. This lets us trigger Firestarter and get a hopefully much stronger turn next turn. Yeah, we're really getting a lot of mileage out of Sonic Boom here. I think I'll use this one to squeeze the Splitter Plus into the left. Not gonna get the Time Angel this time, unfortunately. Not super thrilled about that, but what can you do, really? Yeah, I'm gonna use this to trigger the fuel and give us an extra bit of juice on that. Yeah, let's Tornado here. This should take care of most, if not all, of the blobs, and we can do a little bit of cleanup, like I said before, with this backtrack, and still have a turn to deal with any of the stragglers. Yeah, so go here, thanks to Anti-Mag, that attack was free. And this last splitter should be no problem. Yeah, getting the 3 backtracks here was a little bit awkward, but we did manage to make it work. Let's see what they've got in store first. Tractor Beam is very interesting. I don't think I should reroll here, and Tractor Beam technically works with Bomber Mech. It also works with Sonic Boom for a variety of reasons. It moves us. It also helps us move any of the bombs that we have on the grid to trigger it. And it works with Anti-Mag. I think Tractor Beam is not exactly what I wanted, which was a better movement option or a zero cost card, but it does pull in the right direction enough times that I am just going to pick it up. Let's hope Min has some goods for us here. We do not need 2 more copies of Backtrack, much to maybe everybody's surprise. We have enough of those. Something we could consider is Reactor Burn. This is already an incredibly powerful card, moving in this like huge pattern to let us like dash through the enemies and like cause a large amount of damage. Sonic Boom is only gonna exacerbate that. Although, there's some argument to just picking up both Nemesis and Teacher's Pets. Teacher's Pets just offers us some, like, cost reduction every single turn to, like, one of our... to our common and starter cards. It also makes our starter card... commons, which are these, starter cards for all the synergy purposes for its unique pack. An example being Calculate. Something else to consider here. Overclock. I don't think this is the right deck for Overclock. Because it... yeah, we don't have any big ticket attacks in our deck. Like, the current plan we have is to just move around a lot with Sonic Boom and use that as our damage output. So I don't think we're going to get too much mileage out of that. I'm currently debating between Teacher's Pet and Nemesis, or Teacher's Pet plus Reactor Burn. I really do think Reactor Burn has a lot of potential in a context like this. It lets us... This is the thing that we needed to get deep in the enemy backline, trigger Sonic Boom, deal a lot of damage, and also, like, the backtracks in our deck is going to help us pull back whenever we need. and address any threats at the bottom here. Honestly, I don't feel too bad about this. Yeah, earlier in Discord I was tooting the horn of Nemesis. Ugh. This really is a tough choice. I don't know. I think I really am hankering for some ability to go in the back line and, like, move further in. I will pick up Reactor Burn and Teacher's Pet over Nemesis, and we'll just save those 6,000 bucks for later. Jammed. Acceptable. Not thrilled. You gotta take something. Let's start with this. And, yep. Not too much going on this first turn, but that's totally fine. I think I'll actually just start with a Reactor Burn here. That's 2 hits to the Mega Blob. I think I'll do this. And that should be enough to pop the Mega Blob at this juncture. I will just pull back like so that none of the bombs hit me. Excellent. So now a tornado is going to be... Oh, that is bad news, Bears. We're going to get even more junk in our discard pile than we might have otherwise expected. I think clearing that out properly is going to be a very big priority for us. This hole here unfortunately means that I cannot use the backtrack as a damaging move as I otherwise would have liked. But I think that's going to work out fine. I'm actually going to play this fuel manually. Hit both of these guys a little bit. Oh god, that's going to be a lot of junk. I'm not loving this situation. Oh, this guy's just not going to hit me. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to do the thing I talked about earlier. We're like go here. Oh. Well. Yeah, I guess, yeah, we'll just do this. This does mean we get to take care of most of the threats on the horizon here with this. Yeah, I guess the goal here is just to pop as many blob pluses as we possibly can, and then get a really juicy tornado into here. That, I think, is going to be our win condition. Let's get another Reactor Burn into the mix. Kill these 3, Meltdown, Jam, and I think we're gonna chill. Yeah, we've been pretty lucky with how the blobs here have treated us with the bombs, as well as the echoes, but obviously you can't count on this forever. I will fuel, and then I will jam. This will trigger Firestarter for us. Okay, this does mean we don't get... I think I'm going to start this turn off with a tornado. Am I happy enough with this turn to keep it this way? This next turn there's going to be a a lot of different threats all around. I can't say I'm really loving how things are going. I think I am going to re-roll this and see if we can do just a little bit better. Okay. I feel a lot better now that I have this backtracked in my hand. That one turned out a lot better. I think, yeah, let's use this to kill some of the blobs. And then we'll finish it off with this. Yeah, get rid of the meltdowns. And we're walking away from this with 4 junks in the yard with like not a lot of enemies left. I can only hope that this is going to be good enough. Yep. So, only a few enemies left. Yep, this will kill all of them. Very glad we made it out of that one alive. A pretty tight fight, but I think we're going to do just fine. Red Giant is huge. It means that all of our explosions will be one bigger than they used to be, although Nova Bomb and Throw Bomb are going to start costing more. With Throw Bomb, it's not as big of an issue, but Nova Bomb is going to get noticeably worse as a card. I think our solution to that might just be to remove Nova Bomb, keep Throw Bomb around. And the biggest part of Red Giant is that now whenever we trigger Bomber Mech and Sonic Boom, it is going to detonate with an explosion radius of 2 instead of 1, which can let us just go absolutely ham. Yeah, Reactor Burn's going to get much better, Tractor Beam will get much better, Tornado's going to give us some pretty high highs if things go well for us. Let's pick up Red Giant and see where this takes us. I could pick up a random 2 copies of a random common artifact. There are a lot of very good options there. Although, tempting as that is, I do think we need like 1 more move card in our deck, in addition to Reactor Burn, to really help us out with this whole lack of movement situation. Fortunately, nothing is in striking range for us with Sonic Boom. For this turn, we're just going to take it easy here against the Leviathans. Yeah, you know what? Let's put one of these fellas here. Why did... Oh, that cost nothing because of Teacher's Pet. That's huge. Yeah, let's then Tornado. Yeah, this should wipe everything else out. Yes, good. Another copy of Fuel, and a Startup, which is, I think, one of the best card draw spells in the game. Or we can get ourselves a Recess. I think a Recess is going to be really, really good. We can always grab it with the backtracks. It moves us, it provides us a little bit of card draw. I think Recess is actually exactly what we need. The game's giving us one last chance to pick up an artifact before we go on to fight the final bosses, I think I'm going to take them up on that offer. There are still a lot of very good artifacts that we could pick up that I'm kind of hoping to get here. Yeah, I think we're gonna be forced to pick up a Doom here, and that's totally fine. Now we're gonna do this, and we will hit him with the Omega Ginormous Explosion. Yeah, the combination of Red Giant, Sonic Boom, and Bomber Mech is just showing how unbelievably absurd it really can be. So what we're going to do here is throw this bomb here, and then we're going to Tractor Beam this way. That will kill everything that's left, and give us another nice payout with those two. School Bus. What does that do for us? That lets us reliably pick up Tornado and nothing else. Not the biggest fan there. Supply Drop is a fine artifact. I gotta be honest, Supply Drop is like not excellent, but it's totally fine. It gives us a burst of cards and heat early on in the game. I am at this point in the game where like I'm walking into the final shop with a lot of money. I am kind of worried about us having some difficulties going into the later fights. I really don't want to waste a reroll token on this selection of only 2 artifacts. I'm going to pick up Supply Drop and not feel too bad about that. Final shop. I think gift card is going to be excellent. We're definitely going to be picking that up. Oh yes, one very important thing. We are going to remove this Nova Bomb. It is not doing great in our deck. Other question, do we want target practice? I'm not sure about that. Foot Seize is for sure going into our deck. I love this card. It is good. Not only is it a 0-cost move that we can pick up with Backtrack, it works with all the other things that we've seen work with it. It's the same reason we picked up Recess. In this context, it is a little bit less good because it does not draw another card like Recess, but it still can help us do a little bit of extra hitting, which I'm not going to complain about. I am also going to pick up Lock and Load here. Although target practice could be very good. That's tough. Oh, Siphon Fire could also give us the opportunity to go a little bit longer. I think this might be... I think the combination of Siphon Fire and Lock and Load might be what we need to finish off this fight and stuff. Yeah. Because, yes, Lock and Load gives us a little extra card draw, and then Siphon Fire is going to open up our mana reserves so that we can have a bit of a better fighting chance in a more drawn-out fight against the Overseer. We just have to find some opportunities to use this to get some extra shields, which I think both the Kraken fight and the Overseer fight are going to have a lot of opportunities for us. This will put us at a 17-card deck, which is a little bit bigger than I otherwise would like, but I'm pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good about all the cards in our deck. Also, you know what? If you want to really get a little technical, Tornado's technically gonna get exiled the moment we play it, so it's more like a 16-card deck. You know what? I'm feeling good. Let's pick those up, and let's see what we can do. Aegis Invaders, totally fine. Hoping to get a early Siphon Fire here just like that. That's gonna give us a heat sink permanently for the rest of the fight, which is huge. Okay. So I think something we can do here is actually just backtrack back here clear our heat gauge using the supply drop. And now, yeah, I think I'll just tornado. This is gonna put everything in a bunch of different places, deal a bunch of damage to the Kraken, and we can just like always play a little bit of cleanup with backtrack. And I think I will be... Oh, right, the fuel is actually going to prevent the burn. Oh, no, it does count as having burned something with Firestarter. That is very cool. Yeah, we're gonna be able to get rid of like two of the echoes here, and maybe even a third one. Although I don't feel like I really need to overplay my hand. I can just get rid of the junks and then feel pretty good about how things are going. This fight is as good as finished at this current rate, which I'm not going to complain about at all. Yeah, Plasma Fire is really going a long way towards helping us solve our mana issues. Now, every single turn, because we have struck a shield with it 3 separate times, now every time we get 6 heatsink instead of 3. And picking up those zero-cost movements has also been a giant boon. Yeah, because it lets us get away with stuff like this. So we're going to... Oh my god, I just realized Footsie's moves 3 tiles. That is incredible. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick moment to just do a little bit of trolling. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And that will finish off the Kraken plates very easily. I think we will be coasting to a very easy dub today, but I'm gonna have to be careful not to get too overconfident, because the Overseer, no matter how good your deck is not gonna be a super easy fight. We should still be careful. Let's kill the Migo here and not touch the supply drop, actually. Then we will do this. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how things are going to be down in that direction. Then we'll pick up some more cards here. Okay, I think the last thing we'll do on this turn is just play a fuel, end the turn. There's not a whole lot of pressure being applied here by the Overseer, which is exactly what we love to see. We'll have to eat a explosion here. just, oh my god, anti-mag is actually working with the backtracks here, because when something gets discounted by it, it recognizes that even in the graveyard. So even if it was a 1-cost card, once it shuffles back, it's seen as a 0-cost by the backtrack. That's actually very cool. I'm loving it. So we're going to I think, yeah, we're going to... Yeah, oh, geez, next turn's going to be tough. I guess we should probably just... do this. Take it easy for now. Don't spawn any more invaders for the near future. Deal with the junks that are immediately coming up here. Unfortunately, that's one... that one Siphon Fire is going to be the last card for our deck, even though I have spent a pretty big amount of energy on, like, playing around it. Oh, it is what it is. Suppose you can't have everything. Let's just go to here, and then we'll call it a day. I'm not exactly sure when it is that, like, the hands walk further and faster than they usually do. I know during the initial bits of the fight, they always walk like one step at a time, but at some point they start speeding up, and I'm not exactly sure when it will be. It is very strange. I think this should mean that we're safe from any junks in the short term. I think we will be just finishing off this phase of the fight. We only have a single junk start in our deck, which is a spot we want to be. Okay, let's try to farm one extra heatsink off of this shield here, and then we'll... I think this is probably as good a spot to use Tornado as we're going to get. Let's just use it. And this is going to kill it off a huge chunk of the Chaos Swarms, and we should have a lot of freedom as to how we want to finish off the rest. Like, our deck has so much firepower and flexibility at this point that, like, even if we get a very bad distribution like this, I still feel very confident in, like, being able to deal with this pretty cleanly. But yes, even in a situation like this, we're just going to be totally fine. Yeah, next turn all of these guys are going to start channeling Doom. Not a big fan of that, so I'm going to do my best to take out as many of them as I can. That will take care of the rest. Very good. Might have played this a little bit sloppily. I'm not gonna hold you. But I do still suspect that we're gonna be fine. Yeah, we're going to save these 0 costs for next turn, instead of playing it there. Oh, there's nothing for us to get here. If we don't do something or we actually do die, I will reset. Here's where having those chrono tokens really are going to come in handy. This should mean that, yeah, all we need to deal with this turn is this guy, which shouldn't be too hard, especially if we draw 6 cards like this. So yeah, we will be ending this turn with just a single heart here, and that should let us end this somewhat cleanly. I was hoping I was hoping it would. I think yes, it will. It will. We're chilling still. Yeah, if we somehow lose this, I am gonna crash out, man. I'm not gonna be a very happy guy. But what can I say? Sometimes all you can do is hope for the best. I think we've played as... Maybe we haven't played as cleanly as, like, humanly possible, but... Yeah, it looks like the Meteor Shower is going to very easily clean this up for the last turn. And that will do it for us. Even worst case, if, like, this somehow does not finish everything, we have more than enough material to finish the fight off. And, well, that's Roxy for you. This is probably one of the strongest and the most insane builds you can run into on Gunner. This combination of, let's do a deck debrief here. Probably one of the best combination of things you can run into on Gunner with Bomber Mech, Red Giant, Sonic Boom. We supplemented that with this zero-cost package of a bunch of backtracks from the Ultra Coolants, and then the Recess and the Footsies, both being like zero-cost moves that do a lot for us. The backtracks were a little bit awkward because they didn't let us move as freely as we otherwise would have liked. It especially was a big problem against the Overseer because a lot of the threats that the Overseer presents happens in the back row, which the backtracks cannot move into. But picking up Reactor Burn, Recess, and Footsies, and just also having some bullets to help out really protected us against that. So I think that's our first Roxy dub on this. No, it's not. It's our second Roxy dub on this profile. Still, that was very fun. And now we're at my personal best on this profile, which is a streak of 5. We're currently Kaia, Garvazin, Max, and now Roxy. I'm hoping to extend my PB out even further, and hopefully we can get a 6th dub tomorrow. But until then, bye!